Hi, welcome to Yoga TX. I'm Nicole. Thank you for joining me. Today we have a short but hopefully sweet morning practice to help you start your day and set you up for your day ahead. But you could literally do that practice any time of the day. Maybe also after a long day of work, sitting at the desk, staring at the screen, when you've been driving or traveling, anytime you want to reconnect with your body and release any tension. We will focus on the shoulder and neck area, and we will also create some heat within the body by finishing off this practice with a round of classic sun salutations. So if this sounds good to you, grab your coffee, grab your water, come your mat, and let's do this. We start today kneeling at the back end of the mat. So come to the back end of your mat, bring your knees together, bring your heels together, sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands, palms facing down onto your thighs. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Move your heart and your skull over your pelvis, creating a nice long line in your spine. Close your eyes and connect to your breath. With your inhale, find length in your spine. With your exhale, soften and relax your shoulders. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, soften and relax the shoulders. Take a few more inhales and exhales through the nose. Arriving on your mat. Arriving in your body. Creating space for your practice. Creating space for yourself. Gently open up your eyes. Take an inhale, find length through the spine. With your exhale, gaze over your right shoulder. 2 cycles of breath. With your next inhale, move your head back to center, and with your exhale, gaze over your left shoulder. We stay here for 2 cycles of breath. With your next inhale, move your gaze forward. With your exhale this time, drop your chin down to your chest. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel that lengthening in the back of your neck. One of my most favorite stretches. So simple but super effective. With your next inhale, lift your head back up. Gaze is forward. Start to roll your shoulders to the back. We do 5 circles. Each circle a little bit bigger than the previous one. Once you have done your 5 circles, switch direction. Roll the shoulders to the front. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up over your head. With your exhale, bring the hands onto your shoulders. So you bring your fingers to the front and your thumb comes to the back. We continue with our circles, and this time we draw circles with the elbows towards the back. 5 big circles. Each circle a little bit bigger, wider than the first one. After 5 circles, switch direction. I lost count here, but I think we did 5. One more circle. Release. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up over your head. Find length through the sides of your body. With your exhale, cactus the arms, press the shoulder blades together. Open your chest, gently lift the gaze towards the sky. Keep your elbows in alignment with your shoulders. Bring the hands in front of your body, the arms. Cross your arms. Your left arm comes on top. Wrap your arms around each other into your eagle arms. If you cannot do a full wrap, you can always bring the back of your hands together instead. Bring your elbows in alignment with your shoulders. With your next inhale, lift up the elbows, lift up your gaze. With your exhale, lower the elbows down, drop the chin to the chest, round through the spine. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift up your elbows, lift up your gaze. Exhale, lower the elbows down and drop your chin to the chest. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up over your head. Exhale, cactus the arms, press the shoulder blades together. Open your chest, gently lift the gaze up towards the sky. 2 more cycles of breath. Cross the arms in front of your body. Right arm comes on top this time. Wrap your arms around each other. Find your eagle arms. Bring your elbows in alignment with your shoulders. With your next inhale, lift up the elbows, lift up your gaze. With your exhale, lower the elbows down and drop your chin to the chest. 2 more rounds. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release and round. Inhale, lift up your elbows. Exhale. Drop the chin to the chest, round through the spine. Release. Bring the arms up over your head. 1 more time. Find length through the sides of your body. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. With your next exhale, bend into your left elbow. Bring your right hand onto your left elbow and start to pull the left elbow over to the right. So you find a nice lengthening stretch in your upper arm. One more cycle of breath. Switch sides, bend into your right elbow, bring the left hand onto your right elbow and start to pull the right elbow over to the left. Left and right is always difficult for me, sorry. Even more when I focus on it. One more cycle of breath. Release, bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. With your next inhale, extend the arms out long, press the shoulder blades together, open your chest, gently lift the gaze up towards the sky. Press the bottom of your palms together and find that nice opening in your chest. Take 1 more inhale. With your exhale, start to lower the torso down to the floor. Keep your interlace. Try to connect the forehead to the floor. Come into child's pose variation. With your arms, your hands reaching towards the sky. Keep your hips back onto your heels. One more cycle of breath. With your next inhale, rise up with the torso. Press the shoulder blades together, open the chest, gently lift the gaze. Find that nice opening stretch in your chest. 1 more time. With your next exhale, slowly release the torso back to your thighs, forehead connecting to the floor. Keep your interlace in your hands and press the bottom of your palms together.
It gives you a deeper stretch. One more cycle of breath. With your next inhale, rise up with the torso. Extend the arms out long, press the shoulder blades together, open your chest, gently lift the gaze. Release, come up into a tabletop, bring the hands in front of you, hands underneath your shoulders, spread the fingers wide, press your hands into the floor. Your knees are hip width apart and your hips are stacked on top of your knees. With your next inhale, lift up your right arm, let your gaze follow. With your exhale, needle and thread over to the left, lower the right side of your face down to the floor. If you wish to extend that stretch, simply extend the left arm towards the top of the mat. Keep your left hand in alignment with your left shoulder. Your hips are stacked on top of your knees and twist from the belly button upwards. 2 more cycles of breath. Start to bring the left hand back underneath your left shoulder. Push the floor away with the left hand. Inhale the right arm up. Let your gaze follow. Exhale, release the right hand down to the floor. Come back to tabletop. Let's take this to the other side. Inhale, sweep up the left arm. Let your gaze follow. Exhale, needle and thread over to the right. Lower the left side of your face down to the floor. For an extended stretch, bring the right arm, the right hand, reaching forward to the top of the mat. If your right arm is extended, make sure your right hand is in alignment with your right shoulder. Keep your hips stacked on top of your knees and twist from the belly button upwards. 2 more cycles of breath. Bring your right hand back underneath your right shoulder. Push the floor away with your right hand. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, release the left hand down to the floor, back to tabletop. Bring both of your hands to the top of the mat and start to lower the chest down towards the floor, puppy pose. Keep your hands in alignment with your shoulders. With each exhale, try and release your chest a little bit closer to the floor. Make sure your hips are stacked on top of your knees. If you can, connect the forehead to the floor. 2 more cycles of breath. With each exhale, try to release your chest closer to the floor. Press your palms into the floor, rise up with the torso, bring your hands back underneath the shoulders to tabletop. Open up your knees, bring the big toes together, sit back onto your heels. Lower the torso down to the floor in between your knees, wide-legged child's pose. Your arms are reaching forward. Your hands are in alignment with your shoulders. Try to connect the forehead to the floor. With your inhale, breathe into the back of your body. With your exhale, release the torso closer to the floor. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, find a little bit more depth in your wide-legged child's pose. With your next inhale, rise up onto your fingertips, your spider hands. Create your spider hands. With your exhale, release the chest towards the floor. It's a bit of an extended stretch for your shoulders. Another one of my favorite shoulder release stretches. With your next exhale, bring the hands, your palms back to the floor. Start to lift the gaze. Bring the hands closer to the torso. Claw your paws. Tuck the toes. Push through the hands. Lengthen the legs. Move your hips up. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out with your feet. Walk out your dog. Bend into your knees. And release the opposite heel to the floor. Find movement by moving your hips right to left or remain still. Simply feel what feels good for you today. Find stillness in your downward facing dog and let's check in with your alignment. Gently bend the knees, tailbone points up towards the sky. Rotate the upper arms outward. Push through the hands, feel that lengthening in your spine. With each exhale, try to release the heels and the sternum closer to the mat. With your next inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. With your exhale, release the heels and the sternum to the mat. One more round. Inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. With your exhale, release the heels and the sternum closer to the mat. Inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. This time with your exhale, bend into the knees. Lower the knees down towards the floor and hover your shins parallel to the floor. We are starting to create that heat within. Push through the hands. Make sure you don't have any weight on your wrists. Inhale, lift up the hips. Exhale, release the heels and the sternum towards the floor. We do one more round. Inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, bend into the knees. Lower the knees down and hover. Keep the shins parallel to the floor. With your next inhale, lift up your hips. With your exhale, release the heels and the torso to the mat. Shake your head, say yes, no to release any tension you might be holding in your neck. Push through the hands, feel that lengthening in your spine. Keep the tailbone pointed towards the sky. With your next inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. With your exhale, bend into the knees, gaze forward. Start walking to the top of the mat. Come to a standing forward fold. Keep your feet hip-width apart and make sure that all four corners of your feet are grounded into the floor. Gently bend the knees. Try your best to hinge from the hips. Grab opposite elbows. Start rocking right to left. Releasing the whole upper body to the floor. Drop the hands down to the floor, bend into the knees, press the heels into the floor, root to rise with the torso into a standing position. Inhale, sweep the arms up over your head. Exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. We're moving into our sun salutation now. With your inhale, sweep the arms up, high mountain pose. With your exhale, release into standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back, lower the right knee down to the floor. Press your feet into the floor. When you're ready, sweep the arms up over your head, low lunge. Square the hips. Squeeze the thighs towards the midline. Keep your left knee stacked on top of your left ankle. Open your chest and connect with your breath. With your exhale, release the hands down, frame your left foot. Lift up the right knee, step the left foot back, come into your plank pose. Tuck the tailbone, draw the lower belly towards the spine. With your next exhale, knees, chest, chin down to the floor. Untuck the toes, bring the forehead to the floor. The tops of your feet and your hands press into the floor. Hug the elbows towards the torso. With your next inhale, push the floor away. Rise up into cobra pose. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. With your exhale, release the torso back to the floor. Push the floor away, come into tabletop. Sit back into child's pose. Claw your paws, tuck the toes, push through the hands, lengthen the legs, move your hips up, downward facing dog. 2 cycles of breath. Step the right foot forward in between your hands. Lower the left knee down to the floor. Rise up with the torso, low lunge on your right. Exhale, release the hands down, frame your right foot, lift up the left knee, step the left foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms over your head. Exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Let's take this to the other side. With your inhale, sweep the arms up, high mountain pose. With your exhale, release into standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step the left foot back, lower the left knee down to the floor, press your feet into the floor. Root to rise. When you're ready, sweep the arms up over your head. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. With your exhale, release the hands down, frame your right foot, lift up the left knee, step the right foot back, come to high plank pose, tuck the tailbone, draw the lower belly towards the spine, push the floor away with your hands. With your exhale, knees, chest, chin down to the floor, untuck the toes, bring the forehead to the floor. With your inhale, push the floor away. Rise up into cobra pose. Press the pubic bone into the floor to protect your lower back. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release the forehead down to the floor. Push the floor away, come into tabletop. Sit back into child's pose. Claw your paws, tuck the toes, push through the hands, lengthen the legs, move your hips up. Downward facing dog. Give it a couple of steps in your down dog. Find stillness in your downward facing dog. With your next inhale, step the left foot forward in between your hands. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Press your feet into the floor. Rise up with the torso, low lunge on your left. 1 more cycle of breath. Exhale, release the hands down, frame your left foot. Lift up your right knee, step the right foot forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Arms over your head, high mountain pose. With your exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Close your eyes and connect with your breath. Check in with your body. Notice how your body feels. Notice the space. Maybe notice the heat, your heartbeat. Bring your hands onto your heart. Set your intention for your day or for the rest of your day. Bring your hands together into the Anjali Mudra. Express gratitude towards yourself for taking the time out of your day for your practice. Bow to your heart and to your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Very much appreciate your time and your space. This was Yoga TX. My name is Nicolle. If you would like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Let Your Shadow Shine. Feel free to leave me a comment below. It would be great to hear from you. Take care. Bye-bye.